Hello and welcome to Vidyarthee Education. Today we are going to look at some important questions from the Odisha history which will be very helpful for the upcoming OPSC OCS examination. Do not forget to follow us on Instagram and join our Telegram channel. You will get all the PDFs over there. So let's dive right into it. The Jainism appeared in the Kalinga for the first time during the rule of answer is Kharvela. The first Chedi king Mahameghavahana in the early part of the 1st century BC took control over the Kalinga free from Magadha. The third Chedi king, Kharvela, became great power with an extensive territory as its empire. The life and achievements of Kharvela were vividly known from his famous Hathi Gumfa inscription. Jainism spread to Kalinga in the Odisha in the 4th century BC. Kalinga's overseas trade flourishes largely with the rulers bunching their colonial adventure in the Suvarnadipa during the rule of which dynasty? The answer is Sailodbhava Dynasty. It was during the reign of Sailodbhava Dynasty the Kalinga's overseas trade flourished largely and personages of the royal house launched their colonial adventure in Suvarnadipa, that is Burma, where the Sailendra Empire came up by 8th century AD. The Sailodbhavas ruled over Kangoda, roughly comprising of the present Ganjam and Puri districts. A number of Saiva temples of Bhubaneswar such as Parsurameswar, Satrughneswar, Bharatweswar, Lakhneswar can be assigned to this Sailodbhava period. Which of the following Chinese pilgrims visited Odisha in 638 AD? The answer is Hiuen-Tsang. The famous Chinese pilgrim Hiuen-Tsang, who came to India during the time of Harshavardhana, in course of his travel, visited Odisha in 638 AD. China knew about Kalinga through Buddhist texts. Kalinga had political, cultural and commercial contacts with ancient China. Hiuen-Tsang refers to an important seaport town of ancient Odisha called Cherli Talo. Cherli Talo has been identified with excavated Manikpatnam port on the coast of Chilika Lake. Lingaraj temple at Bhubaneswar was built during the rule of which dynasty? The answer is Somavanshi Dynasty. Lingaraj temple, built in 11th century AD by King Jajati Kesari of the Somavanshi Dynasty, built with red stone. Built in Deula style that has 4 components, that is Vimana, Jagamohana, Natamandira, Bhogamandapa. Vimana, it is the structure containing the sanctum. Jagamohana, that is the assembly hall. Natamandira, festival hall, and Bhogamandapa is a hall of offerings. The construction of Lingaraj temple is finished by Lalatendu Keshari of the Soma dynasty. During which Mughal ruler Odisha came under the control of Mughal rule? The answer is Akbar. Raja Man Singh destroys the Afghan resistance in Odisha and established Mughal rule. Raja Man Singh was distinguished noble in the court of Akbar and rendered highly valuable service for the consolidation of the Mughal imperial authority. Hence, it was during Akbar, Odisha came into the control of Mughal. Which of the following dynasty was the immediate successor of Ganga Dynasty of Odisha? The answer is Suryavamshi Gajapatis. The first Gajapati was Kapilendra Deva from 1435 to 1466, who extended his empire by winning wars against the neighboring powers. His son Purushottama Deva consolidated the empire, but during the rule of his successor Pratap Rudra Deva, the Gajapati dynasty and kingdom of Kalinga suffered a political and military decline. During the Great Revolt of 1857, Chandan Hajuri, a sepoy Panda of Puri, was arrested from which of the following places? The answer is Gaya. Chakhi Khuntia's original name was Chandan Hajuri, a sepoy Panda of Puri. He was suspected as a rebel as he had good relationship with the sepoys of northern India. It was said that Chakhi Khuntia had kept direct contact with Rani Lakshmi Bai. His property was confiscated. He was arrested at Gaya but was released soon after Queen of England's proclamation in 1858. Who among the following started a newspaper called Sambad Bahika in 1868 at Balesur? Answer is Fakirmohan Senapati. Fakirmohan Senapati, who has been regarded as the father of modern Odia literature, started a newspaper called Sambad Bahika in 1868 at Balesur. Baikunthanath De also established a press and started a newspaper named Utkal Darpan. Gandhiji first visited Odisha during which of the following freedom movement? The answer is non-cooperation movement. Gandhiji first visited Odisha in 1921 during the non-cooperation movement. The non-cooperation movement started in 1921 in the district of Ganjam along with other districts. Gandhiji came on a tour to Ganjam district in March and addressed meetings at Barampur, Aska, Bhanjanagar, etc. During his visit between 1921 to 1946, he emphasized on the development of agriculture, cottage industries, and urged people of Odisha to make villages as the epicenter in the battle against poverty. When did Lord Dalhousie annexed Sambalpur by applying the doctrine of lapse? The answer is 1849. The king of Sambalpur, Narayan Singh, died in the year 1849. Now, what is doctrine of lapse? It was an annexation policy followed widely by Lord Dalhousie when he was India's Governor General from 1848 to 1856. According to this, any princely state that was under the direct or indirect control of the East India Company, where the ruler did not have a legal male heir, would be annexed by the company. Which were the states that were annexed? First was Satara in 1848, Jaithpur and Sambalpur in 1849, Bhagat in 1850, Udaipur 1852, Jhansi 1853, and Nagpur 1854. Which of the following dynasty gave royal patronage to Tantric Buddhism in Odisha? The answer is Bhaumakar Dynasty. Sivakara Deva I of this dynasty sent a Buddhist manuscript named Gandhavyuha to the Chinese Emperor Tosang. After the decline of Mauryas, the downfall of Buddhism started in Kalinga. King Kharvela Mahameghavahana gave royal patronage to Jainism in Kalinga. The Sun Temple of Konark was built during the rule of which dynasty? The answer is Ganga Dynasty. Konark Sun Temple is a 13th century CE temple at Konark, about 35 kilometers northeast of Puri. The temple is attributed to King Narasimhadeva I of the Eastern Ganga Dynasty about 1250 CE. Odisha style of architecture or the Kalinga style of architecture has been taken. This was called the Black Pagoda in the European sailor accounts as early as 1676. It was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1984. Konark Sun Temple is depicted on the reverse side of the Indian currency note of ₹10. In which year East India Company established their first factory in Odisha? The answer is 1633. In 1633, East India Company's first factory in East India was set up at Hariharpur, Baleswar in Odisha. In 1625, Dutch founded their first settlement at Pipli of Puri district. 1667, Aurangzeb issued a farman to company and allowed it to trade in Bengal. The treaty between the Afghans and Mughals on the matter of control over Odisha was signed on. Answer is 15th August 1590. What were the terms? The name of the emperor should be used on the coins and the khutbah is to be read in his name. The Afghan rulers of Odisha should be both obedient and loyal vassal of the emperor. Jagannath at Puri and its surrounding districts would be ceded to the emperor. What is the correct chronological order of the dynasties starting from earliest appeared in the medieval Odisha? The answer is A. Bhaumakar, Somavamshi, Ganga, and at last Gajapati. From 8th to 9th century it was Bhaumakar Dynasty. From 9th to 12th centuries it was Somavanshi Dynasty. From 12th to 15th it was Ganga Dynasty. And from 15th to 16th centuries it was Gajapati Dynasty. Who founded Utkal Union Conference in 1903? The answer is Madhusudan Das. The disappointment with the Indian National Congress as a forum to present the aims and aspirations of the Odia-speaking people resulted in the establishment of Utkal Union Conference. In March 1930, under the leadership of Gopabandhu Choudhury, the Utkal Provincial Congress Committee decided to launch Odisha Civil Disobedience Movement by manufacturing contraband salt at Inchudi near Baleswar. Who among the following was the leader of civil disobedience movement in Odisha? Answer is Gopabandhu Choudhury. The Odisha Congress Committee decided to launch the movement on 16th March 1930. Freedom fighters Hare Krishna Mahatab and Surendranath Das prepared the ground at Inchudi in Balasore district. Which of the following newspapers was started from Balasore district of Odisha during the Swadeshi movement? The answer is Nava Sambad. Nava Sambad, it was founded in the year 1984 and Utkal Deepika was founded in 1866. Both of them of Cuttack gave a strong support to the Swadeshi movement. Pandit Nilamani Vidyarthee, a veteran journalist, social reformer and political leader, started an Odia weekly paper Prajabandhu from Ganjam to espouse the cause of Odias and the amalgamation movement. Bakshi Jagabandhu Vidyadhar Mahapatra Bharamarbar Rai, who led an army of bikers in the Piker Revolt of 1817, is a military general of. The answer is Mukund Dev II. Bakshi Jagabandhu, the highest ranking military general of Mukund Dev II, led an army of pikers to join the uprising of Khons. The pikers were supported by Rajas, Jamindars, village heads, and ordinary peasants. However, the pikers were eventually defeated. The pikers retreated to thick jungles of Odisha and carried out guerrilla warfare for several years. After successive defeats, Bakshi Jagabandhu surrendered to the British in 1825 and lived as a prisoner in Cuttack till his death in 1829. Who demanded for the formation of a separate province of Odisha in the first Roundtable Conference in London? The answer is Narayan Deo. Maharaja Krishna Chandra Gajapati Narayan Deo, the Raja of Parlakemundi, Maharaja Krishna Chandra Gajapati Narayan Deo, the Raja of Parlakemundi, delegate to the first RTC, presented a memorandum to the British authorities for the creation of a separate province. On 18th December 1931, a resolution issued from the Reforms Office of Government of India announced the constitution of Odisha Boundary Committee to examine and report the administration, financial and other consequences of the setting up of a separate administration of the Odia-speaking people and to make recommendations regarding its boundaries in the event of separation. So this was all for today. Do not forget to join us on all social media sites. We'll meet you in the next video. Till then, keep learning and stay curious.